What is going on, Toronto Raptor fans? What a beautiful victory tonight. I was saying that we should win our next four in a row, and we're off to a great start. We've got two under our belts. That last minute win in Charlotte was beautiful. Actually, it was in Toronto against Charlotte. And then even better, because it's so close to my heart. I love, and we all know actually, Nick Nurse. Nick Nurse watches this channel. He may not watch as many of the videos as he used to when he was with the Raptors, but Nick Nurse, I love to see you lose, actually. I love it. I love seeing Philadelphia lose. I love seeing Joel Embiid lose. I love seeing Paul George being about as useful on the bench as he is on the court, sitting courtside, doing nothing. I was even happy to see oh man, of course, as I go to say his name. Anyway, another dude out of the lineup, who's always a thorn in our side, and his name will pop into my head in a second. I don't know why I go to reference guys that I can't remember their name. I know it's annoying. I apologize. But yeah, wow, what a game. 121 to 112. And as a guy with OCD, I love when the numbers, you got two ones and a two on both sides with different scores. Raptors dominated in the third quarter. I mean, this game was a little back and forth. NBA, everybody gets their runs. But man, that third quarter, we came out like 10-2 and ended up with 44 to 26 in the third quarter alone. That was where we really pulled away. We had like a 12, 13 point lead. It was really sweet. And they did fight back, though, man. They went on like an 11-2 run, made it close in the fourth quarter. It was 30 by them to 24. At one point, though, it was much worse. We closed the gap in the final few minutes with some really nice plays. I mean, we lost a little bit of rhythm. Brandon Ingram ended up into some foul trouble early. Uh, was it early in the fourth quarter? I think it was early in the fourth quarter. It might have been late in the third, but no, I think it was early in the fourth quarter. Yeah, he ended up getting a foul. I think he maybe even started the fourth quarter with a foul on a run. They brought it down on the left side, and anyway, he fouled Edgecombe, I think, and had to be taken out of the game with four at that point. We need that guy in crunch time because worst case he draws the double team. I mean, again, there was a few plays where he's drawn the double team. RJ Barrett seems to be feeding off of that. That was the game winner against Charlotte the other day. He just held it just long enough to draw that double team and then dish it over to RJ, which ended up being the winning basket, not the winning play. Of course, it was Scotty Barnes that blocked. Actually, you can't forget Brandon Ingram's block first, and then Scotty did the final block to end that game. And this one was the same thing. I think RJ is now looking for these plays where he's just watching for the double team and then he's cutting. He had a couple nice open ones, and the final sort of nail. I think it was the final point to make it 121, which we'll talk about in a second because I'm going to try a new feature. I think I'm going to be able to work some actual game highlights into this video. I hope it works out. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. But first, let's just run down quickly some of the stuff in the box score. I mean, we've got 22 from Ingram, 7 of 10 from the floor, pretty good. He was 2 for 2 from 3-point range, which is great because we've been saying that's the only real sort of weakness. Has been, I think he's shooting like 29, 28%, something like that. It was 24, but he's been creeping it up nicely. And so, yeah, to go 2 of 2 from 3 today was great. Funny enough, on the free throw line, he was 6 of 7, and there were 3 times that the announcer jinxed the Raptors today. I don't know if I believe in that, juju, I think they call it. Not in a racial slur sort of way. I'm pretty sure that's what they call it anyway. Where somebody is tempting fate and mentioning something. So yeah, there was that one. RJ hadn't missed a free throw, and the announcer's like, "RJ hasn't missed a free throw." He misses, and then I can't remember the third one though. I don't know if it was Mamu on free throws or if it was Mamu maybe shooting a 3-pointer, and they said he hadn't missed, and then of course next time he misses it. Um, but obviously just coincidence. RJ Barrett with 22. Not as efficient from the floor, but he was 3 of 5 from three, which is great, and 8 of 9 from the free throw line. Of course, he was perfect as they announced that he hadn't missed one, and then he did. Scotty Barnes was 16. Jakob Pertl, another sweet game from him, 19 points. He started off my highlight reel. You're going to see just a beautiful fast break play that ends up in his hands. And Emmanuel Quickly won this game for us ultimately. He had two very important 3-point shots in the fourth quarter. It was starting to get scary. The crowd was starting to get into it. These guys were hitting, Philadelphia was actually hitting shots. They're starting to come back. I was already thinking ahead of this video because I wanted to be on here celebrating. I wanted those Philly fans to know that the Raptors, we got their number. You know what I'm saying? They all remember Embiid crying on the court, that last minute four bouncer. And ever since then, the curse is on Philly. We got your number. And he took us last time, but that was a back to back. And Jakob Pertl wasn't playing, and a whole bunch of other excuses that I could sit and make up. But yeah, Quickly, man, clutch shots. And also, six assists. And I should mention with Scotty, 9 rebounds. Jakob with 8 rebounds, but you kind of expect that from Yak. The only disappointing thing, actually, too, that I shouldn't be all 100% positive, because Brandon Ingram's got a weird thing with, it might be that his arms are just so long, and obviously he's tall, so when he dribbles, I think there's actually more opportunity. Just, the time the ball leaves his hand, hits the floor, comes back, there's more of a chance for a defender, to steal the ball, and that ends up happening with his dribble. It's weird. He had 4 turnovers, and Scotty Barnes had 6 turnovers. So don't like to see that. Scotty Barnes' turnovers were more flippant passes. Sometimes we were up too, and I think that he gets a little. I don't know. He's trying to challenge himself. He does like the no look, so maybe sometimes he's not actually seeing, the to be able to thread the needle in that pass. But yeah, just a few sort of nonchalant, almost too fancy of a play, and then they're getting tipped, and then the team ultimately ends up with a steal. So I wish they could tighten up that stuff, because look at, we're on an amazing winning streak. This is 8 of 9. The one loss was to Philly in that back-to-back game, and so can't complain too much, but we do have better teams coming. We're going to have to continue to do this against Detroit, and against, we got Cleveland coming up actually again soon. So these are the games that we need to really win if we want to maintain our position, because I was saying we're going to go on a winning streak and end up 6th. I think we're 3rd right now, and we might have even moved up a spot with this win. We'll check that in 2 seconds. But Sandro, another good game coming off the bench. Some really nice passes too. He did a move where Quickly kind of handed it off to him, and he went like he was going to the basket, and he dished it to, I think, the man I'm going to talk about in a second, Jacoby Walter. And man, Jacoby just drained it from the corner. And again, this is another one where it's crazy. You get a guy like Brandon Ingram onto the team. Everybody's got to sort of take a step down a tier, right? And so a guy like Jacoby Walter last year, especially with all the injuries, was getting a lot of minutes and a lot of run, and now he's sort of coming off the bench. I heard them saying that they interviewed him, and he's kind of preparing himself mentally for that, to be able to come in and be the energy guy, and he needs to be there on D. And it seems like this is maybe the breakout game, at least of this season, for him to be doing that, because 11 points. He was 4 of 5 from the floor, 3 of 4 from 3-point range, which 75%, obviously not sustainable, but fantastic to get out there. And he had 3 steals, Jacoby. So, nice work, man. If you're going to be a 3-and-D guy, that's a legit, serviceable rotation piece that will serve us well. And especially if this guy can get that fine-tuned for the playoffs, we might be able to make a run. I was listening to Brian Windhorst and whatever the heck his podcast is called. Sorry, I should know it. And I know the other 2 guys. I can't remember Bontemps and oh my god, what the heck? It'll come to me maybe two in a second. Again, brutal with names. I apologize, but man, they did a whole segment on the Raptors. It was maybe a little reluctantly, but with the run that we're on, I mean, they had to talk about it, and he talked about a scenario where the Raptors were in the Eastern Conference Final. And the other guys kind of backed him off of that, and he ended up saying, "Okay, well, let's say they make the Eastern semifinal then." But that's what he was talking about, putting the Raptors there at that point. I think his comment was something about, would Bontemps be floating down Fifth Avenue or something? Because I guess he had predicted the Raptors as a sort of dark horse team before the season. But giving him props. But yeah, Jacoby Walter can do that stuff. Fantastic. Grady Dick didn't have the greatest game today with 4 points. Of 2 from 3, and so he's got to hit those. There was one where he was wide open. I'm sure he will. He did a really ridiculous acrobatic kind of pass, though. There was a weird play. I think he was moving a little too quick. I think it was Scotty that maybe passed it over to him, but it looked like he was going to stop at more of the corner where they shoot threes from, like where the line starts to bend. Uh, but he kept going more to the corner, so the pass was a little closer to the elbow part of the 3-point line, and so he managed to slow enough that he was able to get it with one hand and then bring it to himself. But the defender came over, so then he spun and then dribbled up and did like a crazy backwards pass to Mamu that they ended up getting a bucket on. So a couple of acrobatic plays from him, but he needs to be a little better and consistent shooting those threes. So um, yeah, here, let's check the standings just quickly, and then we'll get to the top plays of the day. Yeah, look at that. So, Raptors, as I predicted or thought potentially here, they are sitting in why? Oh, because again, we've got a tiebreaker with Cleveland. So, Toronto Raptors sit in second place. I do need to dig out. Maybe I'll do that for my next. Oh, look at that. I got it right here. I actually just went to reference my original positions where I had these guys. And I had Detroit fifth. Man, who would have thought that, Detroit sitting number one? I got to almost switch them and the Magic because I had Orlando. I thought that, Bane was going to be a fantastic addition for them. They're sitting at 10th. So, again, obviously, lots of season to still go once they can get it figured out. We've seen the Raptors figuring it out with Brandon Ingram, certainly Bain and Bencaro and Suggs, who sucks, can maybe get it figured out. But yeah, I had Detroit 5. I'm glad that I didn't have them 7th. There's something lower than the Raptors because they're sitting first. Uh, oh, actually, look at that. I'm even looking at a switch that I made because of Halliburton being injured. I bumped Detroit up to 4th, actually. So those of you that remember watching that video, of course, you'll know that that's true. But yeah, I had it Magic, Cavs, Knicks, Detroit. Uh, I thought the Pacers could maybe hang on a little bit better, but wow, that was way wrong. They've only won 2 games so far this season, and then I had the Raptors 6. So yeah, I might have to revise that. Raptors moving into 5th if nobody else is going to step up because, funny enough, the Hawks are 5th, so they are one doing better than I thought. So I guess switch them with the Pacers. But yeah, look at that. 3 games back. Toronto Raptors. Oh my lord. How fantastic is that? And then so our next game is on Friday against the Wizards. And that's going to be an NBA Cup game. And the Raptors, I think, are actually undefeated in the NBA Cup. And we've even got an extra buffer. Those NBA Cup games are weird because most of the time there's sort of an honor system of, look, we're blowing them out. I mean, it happened today in the game after RJ hit that one. And they weren't able to score. We got the ball back. It was just, dribble it out until let the time clock die. But those the NBA Cup games, the point differential matters in a tiebreaker, or even if your records are the same. So yeah, they just keep scoring right to the end. It's kind of refreshing. but a little bit strange to watch because it's certainly not used to it. And I think some players seem to forget a little bit. I hope the coaches do a better job of reminding everyone that that's going to happen, because you see the disrespect on their face when they're like, "What the hell are you doing? You're jamming it in," and they're not properly defending. Um, but yeah, so that is the next game. The actual couple more games beyond that. Let's just have a look. We got Washington. We got the Brooklyn Nets coming up on Sunday. Then we've got the Cavs on Monday, and then Indiana. So, I mean, there's no reason that we should lose to Washington. We certainly should be able to beat Brooklyn. Cleveland, if they get their full lineup, the last time I can remember Jared Allen's name. But, Jared Allen and uh, Darius Garland did not play against us in that last game, but they did have um, the dude that was drafted the same year as Barnes, just one before him. Oh my God, man! Again, what the hell's wrong with me? And their main guy. Yeah. I got problems. Let's just get out of this and let's go to the top five, or maybe there's even six in here, highlights of this game. All right, let's run it. So first of all, we have opening like early on in the game. This made it 8-5. You're going to see they're on a fast break. Quickly throws it up to Barnes. He passes it to Barrett, who no looks it right into Jakob Pertl's hands. Beautiful, beautiful play. It was even impressive that Pertl was able to catch that ball in transition like that and lay it in. So that made it 8-5. Then we've got another play with Jakob's soft hands. This one made it 15-12 from Scotty Barnes. Beautiful pass, beautiful execution. Because again, this one he was going to go up on the front side, and then it ended up actually under the basket and sort of putting it back on a reverse. So yeah, again, nice job. It's impressive to me when Jakob's able in transition to show that he's got the soft hands. Then we've got RJ. His passing ability is getting better and better. At one point, he made a beautiful last minute dish to Brandon Ingram. He's going to the basket and just out of the corner of his eye, kind of sees Brandon Ingram. That made it 21-15. Let me see here. What else did I have on here? A beautiful play to make it 94. You got Mamu with a great pass from Quickly. Then he goes, oh yeah, like I was saying, he goes to the rim, attracts the defender, and then kicks it out to Jacoby Walter in the corner for three. I already mentioned that one earlier when I was talking about Jacoby. That was a beautiful play by Mamu. That actually, sorry, made it 94-78. And then yeah, probably the best play of the game. These other ones they're more in order of the actual game, but this one was the nail in the coffin. If you remember on NBA Jam, this was RJ under the basket, and this is another one where Brandon Ingram he holding the ball, doing the dribble, draws the double team, he dishes it over to RJ under the basket to make it 121-112, and that was the nail in the coffin. That shut the fans up. That made everybody in the building realize that Philadelphia was going to lose to the Toronto Raptors once again, and they all just remembered this 2019 playoff run where we made all their dreams a nightmare. And Joel Embiid, who was flying around the court like a little punk ass, acting like they had it in the bag, was crying, getting hugs. And again, another name reference that I've forgotten. Oh my God, Marcus All. Jeez Louise, what is wrong with me? See that? A guy's name like Marcus All can just jump out of my head when I go to reference it. I don't know. I think it's a problem that I've got. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. And oh my gosh, subscribers coming out of the woodwork here. I don't know what is going on with this channel. It's blowing up like crazy. My prediction video that I was just referencing here, did reasonably well. And suddenly my subscribers have doubled in like 3 weeks. I was at 145 last check. So anyway, if you're watching this video and you haven't subscribed, please do. Please, though, give me a comment. I was watching some other videos online with less views. They had comments going all over the place. I don't know who's texting me. Someone's sending me a comment right now. Yeah, Mr. Beast for president. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time, and let me know if you like the feature of the actual highlights. If you're watching this and there weren't any highlights in the video, I apologize. Obviously, weren't able to figure it out. Anyway, see you guys next time.